Oh, hello everybody. I haven't played for so long. I was just trying to work out which way the guitar goes and stuff like that. That would be right. But I'm going to start a little bit early because we won't go into that. Anyway.
I'd like to know as well.
All right to go? Yep. I never ever had a doubt about how things would all turn out. But now then we can wonder if I might be wrong. What broke the spell that I've been under for so long? Now black and white has turned to grey. Dusk and dawn replace the day. And it's a certainty no longer about what I have to say. I'm feeling weak instead of stronger. Change my mind from day to day. I got to make a new start, have a change of heart. I've got to get a new plan. I want to be a new man if I can. Doubt about how things would all turn out. But I look in the mirror every morning, Lord, it tells me the truth. I greet that ring, hey, good morning, and say goodbye to my youth. I got to make a new start, have a change of heart. I've got to get a new I got to be a new man if I can. I got to make a new start, have a change of heart. I got to get a new plan. I want to be a new man if I can. Thanks very much. Now, way back in the early 2000s, there was a band called Prawnhead, famous in the market for busking, and all the other buskers used to look at Prawnhead's case full of money and thought, how do they do it? And so we've stolen this song off them. Well, barbecue is a mighty, mighty good. Charcoal or on wood. You can barbecue chicken. You can barbecue lamb. You can fry potato. Or you can smoke a ham.
Yes, you can.
'Cause barbecue is mighty, mighty good. Well, when I start cooking, you can smell it all over the neighborhood. Well, barbecue is a mighty, mighty good. Well, barbecue is a mighty, mighty good. Yeah, we can do it on gas, on charcoal, or on wood. Well, I got my meadow. I got my meat. We got plenty of heat. So let's eat. Let's eat. Well, barbecue is mighty, mighty good. You can do it on gas, on charcoal, or on wood. Yeah, barbecue is mighty, mighty on charcoal or on wood. Thanks very much. Actually, we used to play that song so often, we were all completely sick of it, but it's been so long since we did that.
Now, coming back to it, it's like meeting an old friend. Finding an old pair of jeans in the cupboard and finding a $50 note in the pocket.
Yes, those were the days. If I could fly away, I'd try today. There's not much here to lose. Still got 3 chords and the truth, so I'll fly away, fly away. Don't ask me why, it's too hard to say. I look to the sky single day. I could still sing the blues. Ain't that the truth? So I'll fly away, fly away. If I could fly away, I'd try today. Don't ask me why, it's too hard to say. I look to the sky every single day. If I could fly away. Thank you. Way back when I just got out of school, I got a job as working in a foundry where I learned how to be a moulder. You know, you'd make the sand mould out of sand and they'd pour the molten metal into it. And I was working there. This old bloke used to come in and he was obviously an alco. You know, he'd come in the morning and his eyes are all rheumy and red and really grumpy. And it sort of come loose a bit during the day, and on Fridays he'd say, "Come on, George, we're going down the pub for a few beers. You want to come down?" And he'd say, "No, I don't drink. You know, I never say I drink." So anyway, one day he did come down to the pub, and he soon started getting into the beer and the sherry. I went to buy some sherry the other day, and it's not called sherry anymore. I didn't know it was. Anyway, you know, and old George would get into all the grog, and he was really pissed, and started talking about the old days. And he said, one of the things that stuck with me all for years and years until I started writing songs was he said that, yeah, I got a kid somewhere. He must be grown up now. So I put that in this song called Happy Birthday to Me. I was thinking about George and I forgot how to do it. So. It's just the D and G, isn't it? I'm just trying to get the rhythm. Not too fast.
Now we're cooking with gas.
Well, I woke up as the sun came up on the railway side of town. I took a swig from my old brown paper bag, warmed my bones as it went down. So I finished off all of that bottle to get my heart started for the day. And as I rolled away my old newspaper, I saw the date, said the 4th of May, and I said to myself, happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Well, when I was just a little boy, I blew out all of my candles. But I feel 100 years older now, and I'm blown out all my chances. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to me. I've got a kid somewhere, he must be grown up now, but I wouldn't want him to see how his old man turned out anyhow. 'Cause I walk the streets and I sleep on the ground, under the bridge by the river with a newspaper rider down. Well, if I was a dog that stick me in the pound, they'd feed me some meat and put me down. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Thanks very much. Got there in the end. Oh, we're going to do a new song. Well, newish. It's a new song. Oh, I've got to get the 12 string. Okay.
11 string.
11, yeah.
Missing a G.
Is this the world, is this the debut of the 12 string, Jake?
Nah.
No?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, way to kill the bit. Yeah, Jake went too hard on his G string and it broke.
That's quality humour.
You right to go?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm stuck in traffic at the end of a long hard day, and it looks like home is still hours away. So I drift off into that other world, the one where I start talking to my dream girl. And I love it when you tell me all my jokes are very funny. I love it when you say you don't care about my money. I love it when you say you're never gone away, except when we plan our big holiday. And save me now. Save me now. Oh, the bar is crowded. There's a cover band flogging away, playing all those old hits from yesterday. I've heard it all before. There's nothing new. So I start dreaming about you. And nobody could hear anything that I say. So I might as well start talking to you anyway. I love it when you dance. I love it when you sing. When it comes to you, I love every damn thing. I love it when you kiss me. I love it when you say you're a grumpy old fart, but I love you anyway. Save me now. Save me now. And when I get home and I'm drinking all alone in my empty room, I start dreaming through the gloom. And you save me now. 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 And you save me now. You save me now. I always like doing this song here because of the strange coincidence. From when I was about 10 years old to when I got up to third year, I think, I used to go to school down there at Morris Brothers, Theberton. And it was the shitty... We won't talk about it anyway, but I remember coming home at the end of third year and I said to my dad, I'm not going back there. I don't care. I'll go and work in a factory. So he said, all right. And so I just used to go for this 2-minute walk up the back to Nord High, you know, just used to catch the bus, 2 buses to get here. It took an hour and a half. But anyway, Nord High was a bit different because they had girls in the class. And even though I have 3 sisters, like these were proper girls, you know. And after a little while, I had a very short affair with a girl called Hillary. And, you know, we just held hands a bit and listened to music and stuff like that. Didn't last long. And years and years later, I thought, I wonder what happened to Hillary. So I Googled her, as you do these days, and quite a bit of info there. And she was turned into a mathematics professor at the Australian National University, famous for coming up with a theory that only a dozen people in the world could understand. And I knew she knew all about that stuff because I told it to her in 4th year at Norwood High. Anyway, but the sad part of the story was that it was an obituary. She died some time ago, and the obituary said that she had 2 children, and so this song is called Note to Hillary's Kids. I don't know where you are, I don't even know your names, but I know you're out there somewhere, so I'll write this just the same. I trust this finds you well, I hope life's treating you okay. I know this comes out of the blue, but there's something I'd like to say. I just found out your mother died quite a while ago. Nobody told me, there's no reason I should know. But you see, I knew your mother in my last year at school. She was in the brainy class, and I was a sporting fool. She took a shine to me, I've got no idea why. She was the first girl I ever kissed, and the last to make me cry. I called her mine, and it didn't last very long. She let me down gently, said it was time to move along. Well, I never went back to school, and then she moved away. I heard her name mentioned now and then, till I found out yesterday. You know, I still have a letter that your mother wrote to me, and it takes me straight back to that summer and love's mysteries. I'd like to let you know, but I don't know where to start, that a little piece of Hillary lives on in my heart. Thanks very much. I get around a bit, playing music at various places, and I was on the way over the Nullarbor to play at Perth, and you know where they have the big galah? Kimber, that's it. And I came across I saw a backpacker couple, they're obviously European, sitting next to their van that had broken down near the big galah. And I never thought I'd see the Kimber as like being the outer suburbs of Adelaide, but when you're coming across the Nullarbor, it gets, seems like it's close. But anyway, I wrote this song inspired by that vision. Drove in silence for most of the day. Empty horizon, not much to say. And she said, it's empty. agreed that was true. No phone reception, nothing they could do. Ah, so many things closed on the open road. So they sat and waited beside the van, alone and tiny in this wide empty land, hoping that someone would help them on their way. But the road ahead was empty and the past too far away. Ah, so many things closed on the open road. Yeah, so many things closed on the open road. A car in the distance, but he drove right by, didn't even look sideways. Who knows why? They saw the sticker on his back screen, a map of Australia with love it or leave. Ah, so many things are closed on the open road. Yeah, so many things are closed on the open road.
Thank you. A song about roads there.
We'll have to jump a couple because I forgot my capo. No, actually, I'm going to get it. Entertain the... I've forgotten my capo, ladies and gentlemen. The old blues players used to call it a clamp. But I'm just going to get it out of my case while Eddie entertains you. Eddie Morrison on the bass, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Well, gee, everyone. Seriously, though, folks, it's wonderful to be here. I don't know if you've heard the one about the skeleton who won the Nobel Prize. No, the scarecrow who won the Nobel Prize. We're off to a flying start. We're off to the races here at Raging Thirst. The skeleton who won the Nobel Prize. Have you heard about this? Have you heard about this, Jake? No. He was found outstanding in his field. Thanks very much, everybody. Gee, I tell you what, it's just a pleasure to be here. I mean, frankly, I thought that deserved a warmer response than it got, that joke. But, I mean, I don't know. You're the audience. You know what's best, I suppose. How are you doing there with that capo, Dad?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, great. Wonderful.
Eddie Morrison.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Whether you want me to or not.
Stuck in neutral. I got in my brain, stuck in neutral. Every day feels the same. Nothing's gonna change. I'm somewhat retired, so I play away the game. All spell has been sustained. I'm driving fast, but getting nowhere. Speeding past the same old signs. I'm rubbing shoulders with the same old faces and drinking too much of the same cheap wine. I'm drinking too much of that old cheap wine. Yes, I'm drinking too much of that same cheap wine. Andy Pronsky on the drums, ladies and gentlemen.
Don, Mick rang me during the week.
Mick.
Jagger.
Oh, right, yeah.
He read that blurb in the Wheaty gig guide.
Oh, right. So you're not going to be playing with us any longer.
Charlie's gone.
Yeah.
He said, "Can I play with the Stones?"
But
I said there's some conditions.
That's right.
We need to be playing with the Stones. We need to be playing with them every time.
We pay you more than this Charlie Watts would get from the Stones.
No, I told him about that.
Oh.
He can fix that up for me.
Okay. Well, did you read that? It's like Charlie Watts said, the Rolling Stones would have been huge if Andy Pronsky was the drummer. And then the other quote I found was that Jimi Hendrix, he said, when I'm reincarnated, I want to come back as Jake Morrison. And then there's Charlie Mingus, you know, the famous bass player. And he said, Eddie Morrison, man, he's the bass. And the other quote I'm going to say it myself, I tracked it down, put it in, was when I listen to Don Morrison's songs, as a songwriter, I feel so pedestrian. Bob Dylan. Anyway, it's become topical again, this song. Well, he sold off his land, and then he sold his herd. And except for that tiny house, he sold everything they had. 'Cause things are closing in, troops are all around. With that money that he made, maybe one of them could get out alive. He'd heard about a place where you could be free, called Australia. So he said to the boy, you are my eldest son. There has to be a way that we could carry on. I've heard about a place where you could be free, but it's way over the mountains and far across the sea. But take this money and you can get on a boat. to Australia. And as he watched his son leave on the back of a truck, the old man knew he'd used up the last of his luck. 'Cause things were closing in, troops were all around. They came into the village and burned it to the ground. But just before he died, a message got through that his son was on a boat and on his way to Australia. Everybody here knows the rest of this story. One of the world's richest nations, covering itself in glory. What are we doing here? 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 In Australia. For the 12th string again, Jay. Yep. Anybody come along Grand Junction Road to get here today? No? Oh, well.
It's going to be a long 4 or so minutes for you then.
It runs alongside the city, past all the things they don't want you to see, and then goes to all the places that you don't want to be. It's the home of the high-vis shirt and the clapped-out Commodore, of smokes hanging out the window and one eye out for the law. There's no prestigious location, no desirable postcode. There's nothing up and coming on Grand Junction Road. Grand Junction Road. At the IGA near Addison Road, they do their best to keep it clean, well stocked and in straight rows, but in the car park there's a deal going down between young men so far gone they're barely human. And on the corner there's a girl so stoned she can hardly stand, when just a mile or two down the road she could be kicking her heels off in the sand. There's bottle shops selling to the always pissed, street girls servicing the never kissed, late night pokies for the barely missed, truckloads of crap for the Wingfield dip. It's the place you go to make a living, it's not the place you want to live in. You won't find nothing to ease your load driving down Grand Junction Road. Grand Junction Road. My father worked in a factory there, just down from the prison. Sometimes 6 days a week, but more often 7. And I wonder what he thought about all those years he drove first thing every morning down Grand Junction Road. Well, years and years ago, boy, and doesn't it seem like years ago now, I went to Melbourne with, I was playing in a band called the Bodgies, and we went over there and we lived there for a few years. I lived there for 10 years. After a while, my musical career was going so well that I took a job delivering groceries in my van. And this song was a thing that happened to me while I was delivering the groceries. It's in around East St Kilda area. Every word of this song is actually true, so it all happened this way. I turned my van into Hotham Street to make the same delivery on the same day of the week. I pulled up at the flats of number 5 and I heard a cry I'll remember all my life. Help me, she cried, I think my friend has died. Help me, she cried, I think my friend has died. I saw him there, soaked in sweat, lying on the bed. And although I'd never seen a body before, I knew that he was dead. Still I did my best to breathe some life into his remains, while she looked on and in desperation quietly called his name. Help me, she cried, I think my friend has died. Help me, she cried, I think my friend has died. And when the ambulance men arrived some minutes later, they took one look up his arms. One of them looked at me, then sadly shook his head. He said, sorry boy, but this one is dead. I went back to the flats the next week to speak with the caretaker about the boy who she said had gone to meet his maker. She said his brothers came down from the country the other day to clear all his things away. They put all he owned in the boot of a car, then they drove away. Help me, she cried, my friend has died. 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 Thanks very much. We should really brighten up the mood a bit, but we're not going to.
We're gonna break on through to the other side.
Well, I saw an old friend in a fancy car as she went driving by. She was more than a friend in days gone by. I looked down in my shoes and I wondered why. Then I heard an old song come on the radio I had not heard for years. It was an old, old song I had not heard for years. Well, it took me back, could not hide my tears. Don't look back, don't look back. You might hang your head and cry if you look back. Well, the road is long, the road is long, stretches way on ahead. It's a long, long road, stretches way ahead. Gives you too much time to think about those things you say. So don't look back, don't look back. You might hang your head and cry if you look back. Don't look back, don't look back. You might hang your head and cry if you look back. Rat Plague, I put the capo on, don't I? That's right, yeah, you do, yeah. Just realised we haven't done this one for quite a while. It could be a disaster. It's got the most words I've ever fitted into 2.5 minutes. But do I see? Here we go.
It's good value for money in that way.
Well, the rats were big as rabbits. In 1966, they came in from the paddock and they chewed Mum's garden to bits. I thought maybe I could catch one and make something with its fur. Then we went to town and saw the film Ben-Hur. So I built a small chariot with the wheels from my sister's pram. Well, my uncle started laughing when I told him about my plan. They said, "Good luck, boy, we hope you succeed. How many rats to pull that thing you think you're gonna need?" Well, I could get away with 4, but I really wanted 6. I was gonna rope them all together and teach them to do tricks. We'd roll around the neighborhood at fantastic speed. Those rats will pull me faster than any racing steed. Well, old Pop come down from Broken Hill and helped me build a trap. We built a pretty big one because I wanted the biggest rats. He said, "Don't let the dog out, boy, he'll eat all the bait. And you'll have to be patient and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait." Well, I waited and I waited, buried in the grass. I started to get worried about the rats chewing at my ass. I could hear all the other kids playing in the street, but the only time I left my post was when I had to eat. Well, the holidays are ending and the cousins came down to stay. I got a bit distracted, then the rats just went away. I was enrolled in Morris Brothers starting in a week, so I went back to catching yabbies and playing cricket in the street. Then Dad put the wheels back on my sister's pram, and one of the uncles went off to some place called Vietnam. None of that worried me much because I had the best plan of all. We were going to hike all the way to Morialta. Then we were going to find the mythical Third Falls. Decimal currency in 1966. Ron the Tank Kneebones, McGarry Middle, 1966. The Rat Plague of 1966. one more song before we finish off this bracket, so I thought I'd plug some merch. Got the latest CD out. It's a double CD called 40 by 40, and it's 40 songs from 40 years of making music. It's the latest, greatest thing. 2 CDs, 40 songs. And the other thing I'm trying to flog, the second edition of This Could Be Big, my book, 40 years at the dag end of the Australian music industry. It's received lots of good reviews, namely the high point of Western culture. Mankind's greatest achievement to date is in this book. And I sold out the first edition, so I've expanded and rewritten it. We call it in the literary trade extra tumescence, which means book fatness. So it's a bigger book, and I was going to do a big, book launch. I had one lined up in Readings in Carlton in Victoria and other places, and then COVID came in, and I sort of just I forgot about it because I was making the record. But anyway, she's out there. That's $20, and I got a special limited edition of the 40 by 40 CD with metal covers. They're made out of the same sort of offcuts from the guitars I make. So, yeah, come and see me at halftime.
You'd be a fool not to.
Yeah, and to top it all off, we're going to do a brand new song now. A wine connoisseur would say overtones of COVID. Here we go. Hang on. Is this the best time? Is this the worst time? Is this the last time? Or is it the first time? Is it half time? Or maybe it's full time? I just don't know. I just don't know. Is this a good day? Is this a crap day? Is this a holy day? Is it a holiday? Is it my payday? Or is it doomsday? I just don't know. I just don't know. They're all up there telling me they know the answers. And everybody down here is telling me, oh no, Donnie, they're wrong. Got my head spinning round like some sort of crazy dancer. And I just don't know what's going on. No, I just don't know what's going on. Is this a freeway? Is it a highway? Maybe a roadway? Or just a pathway? Is it a doorway? Or is it a hallway? I just don't know. Just don't know. They're all up there talking like they're experts, but they've been told just exactly what to say. While we're down here being trickled down on, just getting through day to day. We're just making it through day by day. I just don't know. 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 Thanks very much. We're going to take a short break now, and we'll be back on in a little while.